Damn.
Well, here we are with another vid. As you guys can see, I got myself a toy. This car lift thing's pretty sick. Should be a cool help, you know, for working on stuff, definitely, and should give you guys some better shots and angles of things too, as far as filming goes, I would think.
Especially for all the future upgrades that we got planned. Do us good.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Everything.
Yeah, right.
But, yeah, shop's turning out pretty slick.
Yeah,
jealous.
It's coming a long way. So you guys just seen probably a video or two ago, the shop update video. So I'll make another one down the road when everything's kind of like where it's supposed to be, kind of thing. And I don't know, I like watching those videos, getting like storage ideas and just the way people lay out their shops. I think it's kind of cool. So I'll do one of those later on once the shop's 100% done, which it's close, but it's not quite there yet. But so for now, this video did jump ahead of our riding videos because this stuff was done before we went riding. So what wheels and tires did you go with?
So wheels and tires, I went with the KMC, oh god, grenades. That's what they are. I actually ordered the Addict 2s and they didn't have them, so they said that they could give me grenades right away, and I said, I kind of like the look of them, so I went ahead and ordered those, and I actually like them better now that I have them than I did the old Addicts that I originally ordered. But
yeah, they look nasty.
So they're a 15-inch wheel, and they're a 5+1 offset. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to keep it as skinny as possible.
So it's a 6-inch wide wheel.
Yep. Versus normally is like a 7.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
That's probably like a 6+1 stock. You know.
Yeah, I think that's as close to stock as people say is 6'1".
Yeah. So 5'1", same. You know, it's just 1 inch.
So do you know like an advantage to going with a 6-inch rim over 7-inch wide? Or not really sure, because I'm not sure, but I thought maybe you knew.
No, I just know that that's all, like a lot of 15s just come in 6-inch wide, so.
Maybe somebody will chime in, maybe they know, because we don't, but.
Yeah, I've even seen 5-inch wide wheels.
Really?
Yeah, so I've seen 4+1s or, yeah, 4+1s.
Yeah, that'd be 5 inches, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. I know, you know, like that's like a fatter tire, so I don't know. I don't think 1 inch skinnier wheel would really matter versus like a tire like this, which is more of it's like a round top tire versus a flat top. But I'm not sure. I just know KMC doesn't even make like a 6+1 and a 15-inch rim, and I wanted to go 15s on this build, so just because stock was, and I don't want to have to change anything from what stock was.
Yeah. So I mean, just me looking at it closely, it looks like with the wheel, they protect like the lug nuts and the bolts pretty good, which is always something that we're looking for in a wheel and tire. And we've tried out a couple different, I shouldn't say in a tire, in a different bead lock, you know, because we're hard on our stuff. We do a lot of rock stuff, so things get chewed up pretty well. So when I say that, I mean like the lug nut is like flush in there, nearly flush in there, as well as the bead lock bolts. I mean, that's really cool, and it's kind of hard to tell that kind of stuff on like the ads of wheels.
Yeah, right. So on Tiki has methods, and I really like the methods, and I was looking at them for this as well. But like he was just saying, the lug nuts actually stick out, so my lug nuts just got destroyed on my old machine. They'd all just be mangled, and then you can't get a, you know, socket on them.
Speaking of that, we'll show you.
He's got
Here's my current lug nut situation. We're not doing good over here, so.
So the methods were similar to that, and also the bolt protection on the methods was not up to par, and so actually the aluminum on the rim got like smashed down and around the bolts. I had to go in there with a pick and a hammer and pick around each bolt so I could take the bead lock ring off.
That was when you switched from the Carnivore to the Bighorn, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. And actually my old set of wheels too that I had, which were the STIs.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure were the same way. The bead lock bolts were just exposed, so you just wreck them. I know Justin had them on his old, oh boy, what were those rims?
Oh, the DWTs?
The DWTs,
yeah.
those were really bad.
Yeah, those were destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was another big reason why I like these. And yeah, I mean, I have no complaints. They look awesome. And
Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much wraps up the wheel. So we've seen a couple comments, you know, mainly one, I think, I don't know. And I'm not like trying to complain or anything, but just want to throw it out there that we're not really like a DIY or install channel. The purpose of all of our stuff is, you know, when we first started doing this, we didn't really do garage videos, and we got a lot of questions on like what we were running for parts and things like that. So we're just trying to kind of make videos as we do a few upgrades and bring you guys along for the ride and explain why we chose what we did. And, you know, sure, we do throw in clips of like how to do certain things or whatever, but, you know, there's lots of step-by-step tutorials out there. So it's not really what we're after. I mean,
we're mainly, you know, like we just did his front end. And we just would point out like simple little tricks that it took us, like maybe not be in the directions, you know, like something to make it easier on you guys. We'll like throw that in the vid if we think it's worthy, but most of this stuff just comes with directions. I mean,
right.
Like a bead lock, there's like 3 million videos on how to install a bead lock.
Yeah.
I just did this in my, you know, in my house.
And in fact, we've done, you know, a couple, you know, just tips and tricks how we break the beads on our wheels. You know, we use the high lift jack in the back of a truck, like we've shown you guys that stuff. So sure, sometimes we'll, you know, if we don't have too much going on, we'll do like more in-depth videos. But right now, you know, I've been really occupied, you know, building the shop and stuff. So Billy threw his wheels and tires together, you know, at his house. That's why you guys didn't really see it, but you guys are getting the importance of why he chose them. So I mean, that's what really boils down to. So I just want to throw that in there for any of you guys that are wondering.
So another, now that we got that spiel out.
Yeah.
So another point about these wheels is they're pretty light. So that was another reason.
Oh, right.
They're about 4 pounds lighter than the methods a piece. So I'm pretty sure these are 15.5 to 16 pounds if I can remember correctly. They're somewhere around there. Don't quote me on it.
Right.
But I knew they were lighter.
Which is always good for rotational axle breakage mass.
Yeah, well, I just completely threw that out the window. So on our next
Ooh, tough break. Yeah, I forgot you're running like the heaviest tire out there.
So these are the Super Atv Warrior XTs, so they're the new ones. They are Stickies. They're 32 by 10 15s, and they weigh 49 pounds. So they are some bulky units for sure. And I actually weighed them at home because I'm like, there's no way in hell these things are 49 pounds. I was kind of scared knowing like my 30-inch Bighorns are 30 pounds.
Yeah, so, and these are, I think, what?
These are like 44. 45.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in a 35, it's like almost the same as this.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so why'd you go with this? I mean, we've had some pretty good luck. We haven't had any carnage with the Roxxzillas. Haven't had any, like, noticeable, way better experiences than other tires we're running. I mean, they just seem to be a good all-around tire. There's no doubt about that. But what made you choose these over those?
So, one of the first big things, well, let's go back. So like just our YouTube channel, these are, you know, probably one of the bigger Stickies out right now. One of the only other sticky compounds compared to the Roxxzillas. And we really kind of just wanted to compare, you know, I don't know. It's
That's probably the biggest.
I like trying new things, and you know, I've known these are great tires. They're no getting around it. Those are probably the best rock tires that I've ever seen. But I really wanted to just try something new and compare to them, you know, because you don't really see much about these. The RTs, there's some things about them which are like the younger brother to this, I guess, or whatever, older. Those were the ones that came out first, but I heard they had sidewall issues. So this is the new one that's supposed to have the thicker sidewall, which I will attest to that because I was running 6 pounds and it didn't even really look like they were aired down yet.
Yeah, and
So
that's obviously where the weight's coming from too, so.
Yeah. Yeah, because the treads actually opened up a little bit versus the RTs too, so it's very aggressive. And
So that's probably another reason. I mean, it's another reason why I like the tire is it's more of an aggressive tire for like loose sand or mud. Like, you would think it would do better than these. We haven't really, you know, done too much riding like that yet,
No.
but we did go riding, which you guys will see, and I think it'll be the next video. Yeah, it'll be the video after this. We did go riding at the Badlands, which is a lot of sand. And I mean, they did really well. I mean, it was hard to tell. There was nothing that like he made it up easy that I didn't, but I would say they definitely would be a better tire for like sand and mud.
yeah, I would probably agree. I mean, it's 1 inch tread depth.
Yeah, and it's
really
just like
open.
more open. Yeah, so
But then again, his would be better on like hard packed or rock. You
Yeah.
know, they both have their trade-offs. And you know, I was just curious to try something new, so that's why I went with them. And so far, I mean, I'm happy with them. I feel like they're going to be a pretty good tire. They are going to wear out very fast, which
So this is the wear after one ride, 1 weekend ride, I should call it.
it's 65 miles to be exact, or well, actually like 60. It's got like 65 miles total on it now.
So you guys can see like how it's
If you want to check the back,
breaking in the sidewalls and stuff. But yeah, I guess that was the front. So the back's probably a little.
the backs are pretty roached.
So I mean, they're still really good. You know, like they still have a lot
Yeah.
of tread left, but
I
you
mean,
can see
They are
how soft they are,
wicked soft.
and you can see how they're like breaking in and stuff. Like how, you know, it's not like a cut edge anymore. It's rounded off quite a bit. So I mean, like you said, it does seem like they're gonna wear pretty quickly. I don't know. I think they'll be good for quite a while for the riding we do. We don't do much road stuff or anything like that.
No, yeah, they should last. I'm hoping to get at least like a year's worth of trips out of them. I know if we end up going and doing like more road riding or somewhere, you know, they are going to be probably eating up super fast. So I'm sure the normal compound would probably be good enough for most people, but I really wanted to just try the sticky because he's got stickies. That's basically the only reason. And I want it to be, you know, the best to the, you know, that they offer for like the rock kind of riding that we do. So I'm not really worried about how it wears. I don't really care. So it's better than 4 rides. I mean, I guess.
Well, then we know.
Yeah, then we know. I mean, it doesn't last very long. But
Yeah.
if it's a great tire, you know, it's kind of one of them things. If you know, sometimes you gotta just pay to play.
Right.
Stickies aren't really that cheap, and they were, you know, they were a little more pricey than the Roxxzillas. I did get somewhat of a deal on them, but I got all this stuff through Southern Powersports as well, along with the other goodies I got. And I don't know if we posted it in the last video too, but we do have a 10% off discount code you can
Oh
use.
no, I
through them
forgot to put
guys.
that in there.
And,
So I'll throw that on the screen here. And what is the code? Do you know offhand or no?
I'd have to look.
That's all right. I'll throw it on the screen, and then it'll be in the description below too. So
Yeah, so they're really good guys, and they can basically hook you up with whatever you want.
all right. So the last thing we want to talk about on the wheels and tires is the overall width of the machine with a 5+1 wheel and a 32 by 10 tire.
Yep.
And we're not going to measure it now because the suspension's all unsettled, but we did measure it off camera, so you just have to take our word for it. But it was 75 outside. So, and that was what was that, in firm or?
It was in comfort.
Okay.
Just normal, like if you were just normal trail riding in comfort, it's 75 inches wide.
Yeah.
Firm, it might get a little skinnier, maybe 74 because it raises up a little bit, but I'm not really cruising the trail in firm that often.
Yeah. Right.
At least I wasn't this past trip. But it's pretty stiff.
All right, and then we want to get a true measurement of height, which you got 12 psi in them now, correct?
Yep, exactly 12 psi. And I should have just did it at 6, but I don't really think it did too much. So I was running them at 6. So I ran them at 12. They, I ain't gonna lie, they sucked. It could have been just because they weren't broken, maybe the edges weren't ripped off yet or whatnot. But I lowered them down to 6. And that's when I felt like it kind of had a little bit of sidewall flex where it would help me in the rocks. So I left it at 6 and they performed way better. So that's what I ran for most of the rock crawling and stuff that I went on. And that's all I really played with. I didn't really change it from there.
So yeah, it's aired back up to 12, which is obviously like a pretty good all-around tire pressure when you're, you know, ripping some corners and dunes and stuff.
Yeah, and just, you know, I always try to air it up so it's not just at 6 pounds sitting in the shop or whatever.
Yeah,
so
or if you're running like a road or something,
yeah.
I mean 6 psi is probably a little less than ideal. So height, what do you got there?
31 and a half.
So that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So I mean we could get exact with it and throw a level across the tire, because I know some people, you know, and it is hard to tell really, like with the angle of like what height you look at the tape measure. So all right, so here's a shot for it. You know, there's a level going across the top of the lugs, and you're 31 inches to the bottom of the level, and that's 12 psi. So
yeah. 32 is oh yeah.
And you can only imagine that it would get worse if you aired down, which if you're gonna do rock crawling, you're gonna be airing these tires down lower than 12, that's for sure.
So you probably lose another ½ inch, I'd say.
Yeah, probably. And these are brand new tread too, so once they wear down, you might be back in the 30 club, but
those horns back on it, those measured like 30 and a half.
yeah, I mean maybe. Too bad you went with a 15-inch wheel. Could have ran the horns.
They need to make 15-inch horns. I know Maxxis.
Some 32 horns, 15s.
Oh, they'd be honest. There ain't no question. Maybe even like a 33 or 34 horn.
Yeah, like a nice light
really
one.
Spicy.
Yeah. So anyways, that's what we've got for the tires. I think that pretty much sums them up.
Hold on.
Oh, forgot the width. Yeah, it's a good call. All right, so we almost forgot the width. We're getting exact on you guys here, so no eyeballs, no questions. But you know, just trying to get the best info out to you guys that we can, because this stuff we're curious on too. But yeah, the width is 9.5 inches, as you can see there.
Yeah.
And that's like sidewall to sidewall. Obviously the tread, you know, is
the tread's probably a little
bit less, probably 1/4 inch per side.
Yeah, the tread's probably around 9 inches.
Yeah, so that's what we got going for the tires. And you know, you got a little bit of time on them, obviously, like we talked about, but definitely stay tuned if you guys are new here, or even if you're not new here, you know, stay tuned and subscribe, and we'll definitely get some real, you know, mileage comparisons, reviews, comparing to these tires, other tires in our, you know, experience, and just an all-around good review. And we'll definitely do one of those, you know, as far as durability and things like that as well. So that'll be its own video later on down the road when we got some miles on them. So yeah, we're gonna get to the next thing we got for this video, and we'll be back. All right, so what else we got for you, Billy?
So, along with the wheels and tires, I went with the Trail Armor 1/2-inch skids with the built-in slider, and I couldn't be more happy with them. They were probably, I would say this is really high up there on the list of upgrades that you should do to your brand new RZR.
Yeah, I'd agree. And you know, coming from past experience on wheeling these things hard with our YXZs, and our skid plates, we didn't do skid plates, so it's no one's fault but our own, you know. And the bottom of those rigs were just trashed.
Yeah, I mean the frames were like ripping and tweaked, and
it was like too late. After we went on one Tennessee ride, they were just destroyed, and we're like, wow, should have had skid plates. But it was like too late, so we never ended up doing it. But so yeah, when we both got new rigs, you know, luckily the Can-am seems to have pretty good skid plates. I haven't had any issues yet, and we'll definitely keep you guys in the loop on that. But the Polaris skid plates, which will actually show you guys the stock ones, All right, so here's the stock skids. And as you can see, they're not very thick. I don't know, what is that, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, they're not like UHMWV or whatever the fancy stuff is. They're just like plastic junk.
Yeah, and they're really, you know, flimsy and just less than ideal for what we do.
And this doesn't even go all the way to the front. It actually, like this, so this pocket here is basically your floorboard. So there was nothing covering the floorboard. There was no skid plate there. It was literally just a plastic floor. So if you had a rock, it'd come right up to your boot. So it's pretty, I don't know. I would say skid plates are probably one of the best upgrades you can do to a brand new machine. If you want to keep it like nice underneath and safety wise for whatever, you know. I think they're a big part.
So we wanted to show you guys the stock ones, and we'll get back in the shop and show you guys the new stuff. All right, so yeah, we're back inside now, and I'm gonna show you guys these skids. I guess I'll ask you, how'd the install go? You know, we didn't really get to show you guys. It was before we had the lift, so it was on the ground. Not really much to show anyways, because you can't get up underneath it. And
it was, I don't know. It was pretty easy. It had pretty good directions. It's a lot of some of these holes under here. You can see there's a million of them. Some of them were in like the same holes as like the stock skids were, so you could actually get, you know, the main skids hung, and then you'd have to go. So once you got everything kind of like mocked up, then you'd go back and really tighten everything down and put all the other extra ones in, which is kind of just, I don't really know if it's real good or not, but most of them are just self-tapered right through the frame. That's what they wanted to do. It came with all really nice hardware. I didn't have any issues with that. Besides the back, I broke both of those. I don't know why, but they just sheared for no reason at all. But other than that, I mean, it went together pretty simple.
And this is 1/2 inch thick. The UHMV, I think it is.
Yeah.
So whatever that is, it's the good stuff. 1/2 inch thick, and just the general coverage of it. I mean, you guys can see, you know, it covers a lot, as well as like right below.
And it, you know, it has these little lips on it that it's kind of like curves up to like help get over something. So that's pretty neat.
And it does cover, so like your feet are somewhere right in here, whereas the other skid, you know, it went through here. It's hard to kind of show you guys, but it does protect, you know, right underneath your feet and your seat and stuff really well.
Yeah, it's full coverage. I mean, they even give you these little 1/2 inch plates to go where your, you know, where your trailing arm bolts to, these little, whatever you'd call that. But yeah, it went together really smooth. Tested them already. The back is pretty cool because it kind of goes way out. It's probably hard to see, but it kind of, I don't know, it's like wider than the chassis itself, and there's just slots for the axles cut in.
Yeah.
So it protects, you know, like your clutch cover and all that. At the point your rock came up and wanted to poke a hole through your clutch cover. I don't know. I'm really happy with them.
And it's got like another piece here below the diff to like space it to the same height as the rest of the.
Yeah, because it kind of curves up. So yeah, I did lose, you know, I lost an inch of ground clearance there, but you know, it is what it is. I'd rather have all this protection versus just have nothing. So I'm really pumped about it. And I do think it's a must on a new machine if you want to keep it nice. I think it's going to be a big help in everything. And it'll help me slide over obstacles versus bashing the frame into it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why? Geez. You just feel the stuff going through the floor. You're like, ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, right. That was our own fault too, you know. I mean, those had about the same, I don't know, same quality of skid plates, I'd call it, as this did stock, in my opinion.
Yeah, they were probably a little worse, but
yeah,
they weren't as thick, but they were terrible. They're both terrible.
So far the best one we've seen, you know, factory OEM is the Can-am, but we've only had YXZ, Can-am, and this. We haven't had anything else, so not too sure how they all do comparison, but these are by far the most superior. Like these blow this coverage out of the water, but you know, it's not factory, so that's just, you know, take that for what it's worth. Obviously, if you have a Polaris, you know, it doesn't matter because they're way better than factory.
Yeah, right.
So just throwing out there what we've learned as far as the skid plate department goes.
Yeah, and what I've learned, like I said, I mean, I just think they're a really good thing to have. And I know if Justin didn't have them on his stock, I'm sure he would have had them by now.
Yeah, I would have.
It's a very important thing to just, I don't know, you can't even work on the YXZs underneath any. I couldn't even pull that skid plate off if I wanted to.
No.
I had to cut some of it. I mean,
That thing's one with the machine.
Yeah, it's bad. So now that, you know, with this, it's a big help. And I won't have anything going through the floor into my feet, so.
So the last thing I wanted to show you guys, I'll chime in with, is like the slider. We didn't really show it, but we're actually gonna roll the car down. I'll show you a better view of that.
So one other thing that we wanted to talk about quick was just, since it was up in the air, we couldn't really show you guys, but the sliders that come up. So that's basically the main selling point to me. There's a bunch of different skid plate, you know, manufacturers out there, but these ones have the built-in sliders, which I think are really nice. You know, I didn't really want to go with the tree kicker style sliders because on my old machine it actually hung me up in the rock gardens and rocks. It's happened multiple times, and this will keep it, you know, so
Keeps the machine a little bit skinnier. You know, it does stick out a little bit, so like to the same width as like the doors, which is nice. So it kind of like, you know, gets you away just a little bit, but not as much as like a tube slider does.
Yeah, so I think even, you know, if you're going around a big boulder or something and it hits here, you know, it'll pivot you around where it's trying to go into the door or whatever, you know, your frame or whatever else. So that was a really big selling point for me on these. And these are, I mean, I'll stand on it, I'm 200 pounds. They're pretty solid. So I think they're gonna work out really well for what we wanna do in the long run. And they came with the skid, so couldn't really ask for much better than that.
Yeah,
So,
I'm super impressed with it. And they even stick out like the same amount as the fender flare, I'll call it. So it's like flush with that. So it's the little things, that's pretty cool.
yeah, so I'm really happy. So yeah, I mean, that's probably about it for today's video on the wheels and tires and the skids. So, you know, any more questions or whatever, you can just leave them in the comments. I try to, you know, we try to look at them and answer back to as much people as we can. But if you know, please like and subscribe if you haven't. We do have like shirts and stuff for sale on Teespring. I'm pretty sure the link is
Yeah, the link's always in the description below.
There's no Polaris yet, sorry.
No, I mean,
I'll have to get the editor on that.
yeah. I mean, the editor might be getting some more free time, as you guys can see. He's not as busy these days, so.
So yeah, so please, you know, please like and subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, tell a buddy if you know, it's something we don't really say. We don't really promote ourselves too much, but yeah, we meet a lot of people that, you know, they'll be riding with a group of friends or whatever, and one of them will know us, but the rest of them don't. And it's kind of trying to promote ourselves, but at the same time, it's like, I think a lot of people would enjoy our videos if, you know, with the same riding style. Obviously, everybody rides differently, but, you know, I don't know. I know if I was out there, you know, in YouTube land and I didn't know about us, I'd be bummed not seeing, you know, a Can-am Polaris and a YXZ, you know, sending stuff like that's
And yeah,
similar
there's going to
riding.
be a lot more comparison videos between the two machines, which we, you know, me and him both believe these are the two top dogs, and I know a lot of people would probably want to see that. I mean, there's a lot of videos that we got, you know, spooled up in our minds, I guess.
Yeah,
and also, if there's anything that you guys want us to, you know, showcase a little more, I mean, comment and let us know, because we're always looking, you know, to...
Yeah, if you guys got any video ideas in general, you know, between the two, or things that we can film here, and, you know, that obviously you guys know what's going on in the world right now. We did get to go out and ride, so that was cool, which that content is coming right after this video. But, you know, if there's any other, you know, kind of garage stuff that we can film for you guys and help you in any way, you know, we're more than happy to do that. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.